My name's Ikhlas. I always grew up around Islam, like from my childhood. I've never heard anything that's like made me, oh wow, that's like interesting. If you just leave a paintbrush to drip on top of a painting, it's not just going to paint itself, is it? There has to be a creator. I started having worries. What is the purpose of me being here right now? What is the purpose of the actions I make every single day? I'd rather have to face these issues being a Muslim than not being a Muslim. Allah made it very easy for me. So I started to post content online on TikTok, reminders, some like pushing out dawah too. How easy it is to push dawah out. I was an atheist. I never had really any thoughts on religion. I thought, to be honest, if I'm honest, I thought it was just rubbish. My name's Ikhlas, and I've been a Muslim now for a year and 3 months. So my family, originally they're from Ireland, so they're, I think, Catholic/Christian, but they're not practicing at all really, to be honest. I think they're atheists, but family-wise, they're like Christians. They don't do, I think they just do it for the family get-together, like the picture occasion, the family stuff, all of this, yeah. If I'm honest, I don't think that much has changed about, except for, of course, praying, learning about Islam. Like before, I used to, I still do train my sport. I'm still doing that now, what I used to do before. I always grew up around Islam, like from my childhood. All my friends have always been Muslim, but I've never been taught about Islam. I've never heard anything that's like made me, oh wow, that's like interesting. Like only things I really knew is like Muslims pray 5 times a day, all of this, nothing really more than that. But other than that, I just thought it was just another religion, like Christianity, Catholicism, like I thought it was just like another religion. I didn't really ever take any interest. To be honest, I just thought there's a point. I thought that how is it possible for there to be a creator of everything so specifically? And, I just thought, obviously, what atheists believe, it's just the Big Bang Theory, the meteor, and the Earth just came. And to us, I don't know how I really thought that. Like, it's stupid to believe, if I'm being honest with myself. As an atheist, you don't believe in anything, you just believe in the Big Bang Theory, which is what I thought. But if you think about it, how can all these different things, the mountains, the hills, all these cycles, just come from nothing? There has to be a creator. If you looked at a painting, there's a creator from it. Like a painting isn't, if you just leave a paintbrush to drip on top of a painting, it's not just going to paint itself, is it? Someone has to paint it out. That's what Allah did. But not just from a big meteor crashing in the space and just creating all of these perfectly designed things, all these cycles that strive life as it is today, how we live ourselves. So growing up, I didn't really choose it. I just didn't grow up learning about any religion at all. I mean, I was took to a church, like sometimes I was in my house, but nothing religious or anything like that, just for like, I think, to eat food as much as I can remember. But yeah, I didn't really choose to be an atheist, just like I wasn't told to go read a Bible, go read any of these things, go pray, whatever. Like it was pretty much just live your life every single day. So in my school, we have Jama'ah for Zuhur every single day. And during Ramadan, I started to watch my friends who would go. Like, I just followed along with them a few times, just watched sitting on the bench. And then a few days after that, I made wudu for the first time with one of my teachers who taught me actually. And I joined in. And it was scary being in a place where you feel so like you don't fit in at all, because obviously a majority Asian school, especially when you're praying as well, I'm like the only white person there. I felt like, okay, this is like weird. I feel really out of place. Then I came back another few times after that. I still felt the same. And then after that, I just thought, like, I feel way too out of place to be here, kind of thing. And then after that, I just stopped. And from that point then until August, I didn't really research about Islam, learning anything more. or take any more thought about it. I got no dawah, I think, except from during those times when I would go to pray, my teachers would obviously, they would talk to me about Islam, like, praying 5 times a day, what we do during Ramadan, all of these things. But I've never been taken one-on-one, talk about Islam, what it is, like for like a long period of time. I've never been given dawah like that, and it wasn't a journey for me as well where I've gone out of my way to ever research and learn about Islam. And and the way I thought, okay, Islam, I want to become a Muslim. Nothing miraculous. I wasn't on a mountain reading Quran and I saw this page on a page. I've seen a story in this, it's beautiful, but nothing miraculous like this. I was just in bed one time, scrolling on my phone, and I didn't see any Islamic video, anything like this. I just felt this switch in my mind, got some clarity, like, what is the purpose of me being here right now? What is the purpose of the actions I make every single day, all day? What is the reason? Like, okay, I'm in school, but for what reason? I go training, but for what reason? I wake up, but for what reason? All of these things. And I just thought, okay, I want to take my Shahada. And then from that point on, for the next few days, I started having worries, like things of becoming a Muslim, like, my parents have a dog, there's pictures in my house that have, eyes. Like, I started taking into account all of these things, especially like, haram food as well, that you could eat sometimes. I started taking into account all of these things, and to be honest, I just leap for it, because at the end of the day, I'd rather have to face these issues being a Muslim than not being a Muslim, because obviously you die a Muslim, that's it, it's over. And as long as I'm a Muslim and having to face these issues, Allah still will show me His mercy, inshallah. So when I went to take my Shahada, I went with 3 of my friends from school. I just messaged them and was like, they had no idea I was even interested in Islam like that as well, because I'm private. Like, I didn't really go out of my way to like say, oh, I'm interested in Islam, I'm thinking about taking my Shahada. I was literally just blatantly like, I'm gonna take my Shahada this day. And they were like, what? And I was like, okay, yeah, we're all gonna go, and I'm gonna be there with you. And yeah, even after that, until school started back in September, I still didn't tell anyone, to be honest. Like, I'm not that type of person to go out of my way and tell like people about what's, something good in my life. I like to keep things private, because I feel like, don't like the attention like that, if I'm being honest. But yeah, when everyone found out, obviously through other people, my friends, like, it was very nice. Like, obviously nice reactions, welcomes, all of these things. It was really nice, like, having that community as well after becoming a Muslim. It's very supportive. I took my Shahada in East London Mosque, and it was a rainy day, obviously, a very blessed day. I didn't know the actual blessings of the rain at the time, but subhanAllah, it was a perfect day in summer as well. It was a very long process, because I was with someone before this, and he was going through like all the pillars of Islam. It took around maybe an hour, and in my head I was just like, I just want to take my Shahada now. Like, I'm impatient. But then, finally we got took down. There was me and 2 other brothers as well. Haven't talked to them like since, to be honest. Like, we only took our Shahada together. So we went into the room, and the other 2, they took their Shahada first. I was the last to take it, and my heart was beating out of my chest. It felt like all this pressure was like weighing down on me. When the words Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah rolled out of my mouth, it felt like I'd found something I'd been searching for without realizing I'd been searching for it, and all this pressure just released off of myself. Then I hugged the sheikh, and yeah, it was just like, I can't really describe it. And when I left the masjid, I was smiling for a good 10 minutes non-stop. First night of being a Muslim, I went home and I just started to learn how to pray, because I was also an issue that I was facing before, worry as well. I wanted to learn how to pray before I became a Muslim, But then I was also told that make the effort while you're being a Muslim to learn how to pray, and not to make this as an excuse to delay it. And that's what I did. And
the work of supporting new Muslims continues year-round, and you can be part of it. Over the past 5 years, iERA has been blessed at being able to introduce Islam to more than 400,000 people. These individuals need our constant support as they navigate their new faith. Your contribution of £50 to support one new Muslim gives them essential guidance and support. Click the link below, share the video, and let's go back to that interview, shall we?
alhamdulillah, within like the first week of being a Muslim, I was able to pray fully off by heart, using a book at the time. Had this translation book of all the things on the floor, and at the time it felt like I'm doing this so wrong. Not doing this wrong, but like it feels extremely invalid because I'm standing up, looking at the ground, seeing what I'm having to say, and like having to bend down to turn the page over, and then go back into the salah. But yeah, alhamdulillah, after a week I was able to do it without. Yeah, I've never found struggle with praying like since the day I reverted. Like I know a lot of people who have struggled as well. Like they haven't been able to, like issues with it, with parents, the family, etc. I even know one person who got kicked out. Yeah, I have it lucky because I'm an only child too, so I have all this space to myself, can pretty much do anything in private that I want to. I think in my life I've been even private from my parents, and I'm not really, even if they they see this video, see all these videos about me even being on a Muslim charity video, they could even ask me and then be like, so you are Muslim? And I'd probably still be like, no, what are you talking about? Like, because I don't know, I'm just this type of person, like I'm not looking for any opportunity at all to really go out of my way and tell them. It's just like that mutual feeling of like, okay, you're a Muslim, whatever. So during the time when I was watching the Salah, I was fasting that month too. I fasted every day except for a few days because sometimes at home you have to eat. And that was the same this year as well. I was able to fast every day except for one, because there was this one time I had to eat lunch with my parents. Like there was no way I could just hide it, type of these things. And this was at my dad's house. But at my mum's it's easy because my mum would come give me the food, but now I'd have these containers just in my cupboard, and I'd just be scooping out the food into the containers and leave it for later, and then hide it and just bring out my plate. I've all finished. But then for iftar, I would usually go to the masjid and say I'm going training, going out with my friends, so I can go pray as well for Tarawih, which was my usual experience and excuse to be able to pray there. But yeah, Allah made it very easy for me. Like I used to think, it's a bit long at the time, but thinking about it, it's not hard at all. Allah has given me these containers. Allah has given me the opportunity to be able to hide it, given me these excuses to be able to go pray Tarawih, training, friends, all these excuses. What has Allah made hard for me? Dawah is something I never even really thought about that much, to be honest, until, of course, recently. So I started to post content online on TikTok, reminders, some pushing out Dawah too, because I don't know, it's really, really important, because even when I didn't have that many followers, probably 40 or 30, on this one video, one person, they commented and he was just saying he's interested in Islam. That's how easy it is to push Dawah out now with social media. And after he commented that, I messaged him, and for a good week, messaged him every single day for a few hours, taught him how to pray. He's even trying to recite a Fatiha right now, talk to him about his beliefs. He's a Catholic currently, and ask him, what do you actually believe in? Do you believe in there being three gods? And he was like, no, he thinks it's rubbish. So what are your opinions on there being only one prophet and one God? And he says, that makes the most sense to me. And right now, I don't know if he's in a stage of wanting to become a Muslim. But at first, he was like, okay, I'm only going to want to do this for 1 week, where me and you talking, like me teaching him, giving him da'wah. But then, you know, it turned into 2 weeks. Now it's turned into a month, and it's still ongoing. So it's crazy how just by giving the little list of da'wah, even just posting a video, it can lead them to what he's doing now. He's praying I think he's praying 5 times a day now. And yeah, he's practicing stopping to listen to music too, you know, stopped drinking, but he's not really drinker anyway. I think the biggest thing that I learned was to not worry about the little things that I mentioned before. Because when you're a Muslim, Allah will protect you, He'll look after you. All these little things, you'll move past them eventually, whether it be you've got bad habits while being a non-Muslim, you're worried about certain things, living situations, family, etc. All these things, they don't not matter, but they don't matter to the point where it's the reason you don't become a Muslim. Like, think about everything in your life. So in Islam we call this qadr, your destiny. Allah has brought you to this point where you're even thinking about your Shahada, which is beautiful in itself, because not a lot of people can be introduced to Islam and have an open heart like you are at this point, who is considering even taking your Shahada. And it's mentioned in the Quran, Allah guides whom He wills. So you're special. Don't think of this as like, this is something bad, something scary. Obviously it's life-changing, but it's beautifully life-changing. For me, like, I've been, alhamdulillah, Allah has like protected me, given me such big things, and that I couldn't have even imagined being like you might ask, how does Allah give you things in this world, like, and not just like in heaven, or, you know, all good deeds and whatnot? Like, how can Allah give you money? How can Allah give you a job? All these things. I have a story. One day, I was just out, and this was while I was a Muslim. I was just out walking past East London Mosque, and it was about 10:30 a.m. And, you know, of course, Zuhr, it was during summer, it doesn't start until 1 p.m. But then I had this gut feeling that I need to go into the masjid for some reason and just wait instead of just going home, then praying. I went into the masjid, I was reading Quran and just, you know, waiting until time came. And then someone came in and, you know, we salamed each other, we were talking, and, well, a bit of a backstory quickly. I was like looking for a job at this time, and, you know, looking a lot like every other person my age, of course. And then this person came in, and, you know, about a minute in, and he was like, "Are you looking for a job?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually looking for a job." Like, that's crazy. And I was literally before on my phone, just, you know, applying to jobs right now before we spoke. And, you know, yeah, after that, took each other's numbers, talked, trial shift, and now I'm still working, alhamdulillah. So if you're thinking about how Allah is going to give you things in this world, that is how Allah makes anything possible. Getting a job, like, through just going to the masjid. Depending on the person, obviously your parents, they're your parents, especially your mother, who comes first 3 times in Islam. Like, you're her child, and all she really wants for you is to know you're okay. Like, most of the time, inshallah, they will be supportive, but sometimes, of course, they may not be. And in my case, I don't think that would be the case of her being supportive, because I think she is against Islam, and she preaches a lot about Christianity too. And, you know, she researches a lot on Islam. She's not one of those, like, you know, just Islam haters without knowledge kind of thing. Like, she's read the Quran and, you know, hadiths, like, stories of all the prophets. But when I think about it, it's like, how can you have been able to acquire a lot of knowledge, but, you know, you haven't found the beauty in this? And all I can think is, like, back to Allah guides whom He wills. For my mother, it's like, Allah hasn't yet opened her heart to Islam. If you have a friend that has just recently become a Muslim, don't like push all these like things that you have to follow this madhab school of thought, like all these things that wouldn't even make sense to them at the time. Only talk about the things, some main things of them, praying, the character and how you're supposed to behave according to the prophets, how they behaved, like trying your best to stop anything you might be doing bad, like bad habits, for example. Don't, of course, push it on them because compulsion is completely prohibited in Islam anyway. Always encourage, don't overwhelm them with too much at once, and keep in contact with them too. Don't okay, you've become Muslim, that's it, good luck kind of thing. Like, keep in contact with them, like keep involved in their journey, because if you think about it, it's kind of your journey too, because you've seen them become from a non-Muslim to now a Muslim. Like, they're now your brother in Islam. Brotherhood and community, people he's going to be around, is very important, and you want to be a person around him that will be helping him, like motivating him, because it's very common for a revert to be just stuck in one place. And what I mean by this is they think that, okay, I'm a revert, I have this excuse where I don't really have to put as much effort as an actual Muslim because I'm not as experienced, knowledgeable. Like, I can, like, it's okay if I don't pray, it's okay if I don't read the Quran, but it's not okay. Like, you're no different from, a revert is no different from a Muslim. We're all equal, we're all the same. Keep encourage them every day, but don't overdo it. Like, give them one thing at a time.